are you enjoying seeing your sons step up to the moment and the whole family concept?
Bro,
Are you enjoying that?
I don't. I don't enjoy it. I do not. Simply because I've spent so much time trying to get this little nigga off the ledge.
Talking about King?
Yes. And now he has justifiable means to undo all of the teachings that I've been teaching.
Got it.
I do not like this. No, I do not enjoy it.
I do not like this. No, I do not enjoy it. T just went public with his raw, unfiltered reaction to his son, King, getting involved in one of hip-hop's most explosive beefs. And he went off on his own son for taking things too far by even going to 50's mother's grave. This isn't just family drama. This is about respect, legacy, and how a father watches his teachings get undone in real time. The pain in his voice tells a story that goes way deeper than rap beef. Let me break down this whole drama for you. T.I. was one of the South's most respected kings, a trap pioneer who commanded respect across the industry and built an empire that stretched from Atlanta to the entire Southeast. But his son, King Harris, just stepped into a war zone that's been brewing for over 2 decades, involving millions of dollars, street credibility, and generational pride. The beef between T.I. and 50 Cent didn't just create industry tension. It put T.I.'s entire family legacy on the line, threatening relationships that took decades to build. To understand how deep this situation really goes and why T is so frustrated with his son's actions, we got to go back to when 2 of hip-hop's biggest egos first collided in a battle that would define both their careers. Let's rewind to the early 2000s. Back then, the South was fighting tooth and nail for respect in a New York-dominated hip-hop world where artists like Jay-Z, Nas, and the Notorious B.I. had set the standard for what real hip-hop looked like. T was building his empire with Grand Hustle Entertainment, establishing Atlanta as a major player in the game while pioneering the trap sound that would eventually dominate hip-hop globally. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was running New York with Gun It, fresh off his massive success with Get Rich or Die Trying, an album that sold over 870,000 copies in its first week and established him as one of hip-hop's most formidable forces. Curtis was known for his business acumen, his ability to create controversy, and his willingness to engage in beef with anyone who challenged his position. Initially, there was mutual respect between these 2 giants. They were both street-smart businessmen who understood the game beyond just music. Both had survived real street situations. T with his Atlanta connections and 50 with his Queens background and the legendary shooting that nearly ended his career. They recognized each other as authentic voices who had lived what they rapped about. But in hip-hop, respect can turn to rivalry real quick, especially when money, territory, and ego get involved. The first cracks appeared around 2004 to 2005 when both artists were at their commercial peaks. T.I. had just released Urban Legend and was pushing the King of the South narrative hard, while 50 was claiming dominance over the entire rap game with the massacre-breaking sales records. This wasn't just artistic competition. This was about who controlled what markets, what venues, what radio stations, and most importantly, what narrative the hip-hop community would accept. Both men were expanding beyond music into films, clothing lines, and legitimate business ventures, creating competition that went far beyond album sales. Here's where it gets crazy. The real tension started building over business moves, not diss tracks. Both men were trying to establish multimedia empires that would outlast their rap careers. T.I. was moving into acting with films like ATL while building Grand Hustle into a full entertainment company. 50 Cent was launching Gun It Records, Gun It Clothing, and developing his acting career with roles in Get Rich or Die Trying the movie. When you got 2 alpha personalities trying to occupy the same business spaces, something's got to give. According to industry insiders, there were disagreements about tour dates, venue bookings, and which artist's crew had priority in certain cities. This wasn't just rap beef. This was business warfare with real financial consequences. The situation got more complex when both artists started signing artists from each other's regions. T.I. was bringing talent from across the South under Grand Hustle, while 50 was looking to expand Gun It beyond New York. This created territorial tensions that went beyond personal beef into actual business competition. Record labels started playing both sides, trying to maximize profits from the rivalry while keeping their artists safe. Industry executives were walking a tightrope, booking both artists for major events while ensuring they wouldn't cross paths in ways that could create problems. Then 50 started making comments about Southern rap in general, questioning the authenticity and commercial viability of the entire region. In interviews, he suggested that Southern hip-hop lacked the lyrical complexity and street credibility of East Coast rap. For T.I., this wasn't just personal. It was an attack on everything he'd built and represented, plus disrespect to an entire region that had supported him. T responded by doubling down on his king status, making it clear that respect wasn't negotiable and that 50's New York attitude wouldn't be tolerated when it came to disrespecting the South. He started dropping subtle bars in his tracks and making public statements that questioned 50's relevance post "Get Rich or Die Trying Commercial Peak." But 50 wasn't backing down. He had built his entire career on not backing down from anybody, from Supreme team members to Ja Rule to anyone else who challenged him. T.I.'s challenge was seen as disrespect that needed immediate addressing, and 50's response was characteristically direct and confrontational. Things got real when their respective crews started having issues at industry events. According to multiple witnesses, there were incidents at award shows, album release parties, and club appearances where tensions nearly boiled over into actual physical confrontations. Security teams had to separate groups, and industry executives were getting nervous about having both artists at the same events. The beef reached a new level when subliminal shots started appearing in their music. T.I.'s tracks began including lines that anyone paying attention could connect to 50, while 50's responses were more direct and confrontational. Following his established pattern of making beef public and personal, record sales became part of the competition, with both artists' teams tracking first-week numbers and using them as ammunition in their ongoing war of words. Radio programmers found themselves caught in the middle, trying to support both artists while avoiding the appearance of taking sides. The situation exploded in the mid-2000s when both artists were scheduled for overlapping promotional appearances during a major industry conference. What started as industry politics became personal warfare, with real consequences for both men's careers and reputations. 50 Cent, never want to avoid confrontation, began making public statements that questioned T.I.'s street credibility and business acumen. He suggested that T.I.'s King of the South title was self-proclaimed rather than earned, and questioned whether Atlanta's hip-hop scene had the authenticity to challenge established markets like New York. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. This was attacking the foundation of T.I.'s entire persona and the regional pride that had made him a spokesperson for Southern hip-hop. T had positioned himself as the voice of a movement, and 50's attacks threatened to undermine everything he represented. T fired back with calculated responses that showed he wasn't intimidated by 50's reputation for destroying careers through beef. He made it clear that being from the South didn't mean being soft, and that 50's New York attitude and past victories over other artists wouldn't fly in his territory. The beef intensified when both artists started involving their associates and label mates. Gunnet members like Lloyd Banks and Tony Yao began taking shots at Grand Hustle artists, while T.I.'s camp responded with their own verbal attacks that questioned Gunnet's unity and business practices. Industry insiders report that multiple meetings were held to try to squash the beef before it got out of hand. But both men's pride made compromise difficult. Each felt genuinely disrespected and wasn't willing to be the first to back down, creating a stalemate that threatened to explode into something more serious. The situation reached its peak when both artists released tracks that were clearly aimed at each other. Though they maintained plausible deniability by not using names directly, T.I.'s lyrics became more pointed, referencing situations and characteristics that clearly applied to 50. While 50's responses followed his pattern of direct confrontation wrapped in clever wordplay. These weren't just diss tracks. They were strategic moves designed to damage each other's credibility and commercial appeal. Both artists understood that in hip-hop, perception becomes reality, and controlling the narrative could determine who emerged victorious from their conflict. The hip-hop media fed the beef, analyzing every lyric and public statement for hidden meanings and escalating tensions. Magazine covers, radio interviews, and early internet forums became battlegrounds where fans and industry figures took sides. Behind the scenes, both artists' teams were working to ensure their safety while maintaining their reputations. Security details increased, travel routes changed, and industry appearances required careful coordination to avoid dangerous confrontations. Section 8. The next generation enters the battlefield. Fast forward to recent years, and the beef took an unexpected and dangerous turn when T.I.'s son, King Harris, decided to get involved. Young King, following in his father's musical footsteps and trying to establish his own identity in hip-hop, released a diss track targeting 50 Cent that shocked the entire hip-hop community. The track was aggressive and disrespectful, containing lyrics that crossed lines even seasoned beef veterans wouldn't cross. King went after 50's deceased mother, making references that violated one of hip-hop's most sacred unwritten rules, keeping family, especially deceased family members, out of conflicts between artists. __s___ wanna say something about my mama. Your mama dead as _ your mama dead as _ go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. You dead. Pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. Ain't playing like that. Ain't going like that. This wasn't just teenage rebellion or an attempt to make a name in hip-hop. This was a direct attack on one of hip-hop's most dangerous figures by the son of his longtime rival. The content was so shocking that even hardened industry veterans were taken aback by the level of disrespect displayed. The streets and the industry both held their breath to see how 50 would respond. Curtis Jackson had built his reputation on never backing down from anyone. But responding to a teenager, even T.I.'s son, created complications that didn't exist in traditional hip-hop beef. But here's where the story gets complicated and reveals the human cost of hip-hop beef. Instead of praise from his father, King's actions created a crisis for T.I. The veteran rapper found himself in an impossible position. Supporting his son meant endorsing disrespect that went too far, but criticizing him publicly meant airing family business and potentially undermining his own child. This situation exposed the unique challenges facing successful rappers when raising children who want to follow in their footsteps but lack the experience and wisdom to navigate hip-hop's dangerous waters. Ty had spent years teaching his children about respect, boundaries, and the difference between being tough and being reckless. The generational divide became clear. King saw the beef as an opportunity to make his mark and prove himself. While T.I. understood the potential consequences and long-term damage such actions could cause to family relationships, business partnerships, and personal safety, in exclusive footage that surfaced recently, T.I.'s true feelings about his son's actions became crystal clear, revealing a side of the veteran rapper that fans rarely see. The pain in his voice was unmistakable as he explained his position with raw honesty. "I don't enjoy it. I do not. Simply because I've spent so much time trying to get this little off the ledge," T revealed, his frustration and concern evident in every word. "And now he has justifiable means to undo all of the teachings that I've been teaching." This wasn't the reaction of a proud father celebrating his son's boldness. This was a man watching his life's work get undone by his own child. T.I. had spent years building respect, establishing boundaries, teaching strategic thinking, and showing his son the difference between smart moves and reckless ones. "I do not like this. No, I do not enjoy it," he continued, making his disapproval crystal clear while struggling with the complexity of publicly criticizing his own son's actions. The footage revealed multiple layers of T.I.'s frustration as a father disappointed in his son's judgment, as a businessman concerned about damaged relationships, and as a man who understood the potential consequences better than his teenage son could comprehend. What makes this situation even more complex is the family dynamic T.I. described in the exclusive footage. He mentioned that his other son Domani kept us cool and is always cool, highlighting the stark contrast between his children's approaches to conflict and decision-making. This created an internal family division where one son was escalating a dangerous situation while another was trying to maintain peace and wisdom. For T, this wasn't just about hip-hop beef anymore. It was about his effectiveness as a father, leader of his family, and teacher of life lessons. The veteran rapper's frustration was evident as he described the impossible position his son had put him in. Years of teaching respect, boundaries, strategic thinking, and the importance of considering consequences were being challenged by teenage impulsiveness and the desire to make a name in hip-hop. "I'm a logical, reasonable man of respect, bro. and I raised my children to be men of respect, T explained, showing his confusion and disappointment about how his son could act so disrespectfully despite his teachings and example. This situation exposed deeper issues within hip-hop culture about legacy, respect, and the unwritten rules that govern conflicts between artists. T.I.'s reaction showed that even the most street-credible artists understand there are lines that shouldn't be crossed, even in the heat of beef. The beef between T.I. and 50 Cent was always about respect, territory, and business competition. But King's involvement changed the nature of the conflict entirely. By attacking 50's deceased mother, he violated fundamental principles that separate hip-hop beef from actual warfare. For 50 Cent, this created an unprecedented dilemma. Responding to a teenager, even TYY's son, could make him look petty and potentially create legal and ethical complications. But not responding might be seen as weakness by some, potentially damaging his reputation for never backing down from confrontation. The hip-hop community watched carefully to see how the master of beef would handle this situation, understanding that his response could set precedents for how similar situations might be handled in the future. The hip-hop community's reaction was mixed and revealed generational and philosophical divides within the culture. Some praised King for his boldness and willingness to engage in beef, viewing it as part of hip-hop's competitive tradition. Others criticized him harshly for crossing lines and potentially putting his family in danger. Veterans in the industry understood T.I.'s position, proud of his son's talent and ambition, but horrified by his judgment and the potential consequences of his actions. Many older artists had faced similar challenges with their own children entering hip-hop. The situation also raised broader questions about how far artists should go in beefs, especially when families get involved, and whether the culture needed to evolve beyond some of its more dangerous traditions. Media coverage of the situation focused on the family drama, but also highlighted the ongoing influence of decades-old beefs on new generations of artists and fans. For T.I., the consequences were immediate and multifaceted. He had to publicly address his son's actions while trying to maintain his own credibility and relationships in the industry. The exclusive footage showed a man torn between fatherly love and professional responsibility. This situation became a cautionary tale about legacy, family, and the unintended consequences of hip-hop beef that spans generations. T.I.'s struggle to control his son's actions while maintaining his own reputation illustrated how complicated it can be when personal and professional worlds collide in hip-hop. The beef between T.I. and 50 Cent, which had simmered for years as a relatively respectful rivalry between two successful businessmen, was suddenly complicated by a new generation that didn't fully understand the rules, consequences, or long-term implications of their actions. Today, the situation remains tense, but controlled, with all parties navigating the complex aftermath of King's actions. T.I. continues trying to guide his son while managing the fallout from the diss track, balancing fatherly support with necessary course correction. 50 Cent has shown remarkable restraint, perhaps understanding that responding to a teenager might not be worth the complications it could create for everyone involved. His silence speaks to his evolution as both an artist and businessman. This story isn't over. King Harris is still young, still learning, and still has the potential to either repair the damage through more mature actions or make it worse through continued recklessness. T.I.'s challenge as a father is to guide his son toward wisdom while allowing him to develop his own identity in hip-hop. The beef between generations, the struggle between respect and rebellion, and the cost of raising kings in the hip-hop world. This is more than just rap beef. This is a family drama playing out on the biggest stage in music, with consequences that will affect multiple generations and potentially reshape how hip-hop handles conflicts involving families. No cap, this situation shows that being the king comes with responsibilities that extend far beyond the booth, the studio, or the business boardroom. T.I.'s pain in that exclusive footage was real. The pain of a father watching his teachings get challenged, his relationships potentially damaged, and his legacy complicated by the very person he's trying to protect and guide. That's some real _ right there. And it shows that even in hip-hop's most heated moments, family and respect still matter more than anything.